news broadcast. I'm Delaney.
And I'm Lola. We have some important updates on the Revolutionary War. Here's a story about a remarkable general by our greatest news reporter, Henry R. Merkel.
In our first story tonight, one of our lesser-known heroes, one of our Revolutionary War, is the former Prussian captain, now General of the Continental Army, Friedrich von Steuben. He was one of the lesser-known heroes of this war. He was one of the most important parts of the war. He was the person who trained most of our troops, made the drills for the army, and wrote a book about them that the army used until 1814. He was one of the only generals in history to personally work with each and every soldier. Friedrich also knew most of the English tactics from when he used to work for them, so he was able to use that for his advantage. He was also the person who introduced the bayonet to the Continental Army, which was able to change the tide of how they fought. And most importantly, he was the person who improved the camps like Valley Forge to bring greater condition to all the soldiers. He also boosted the morale and emotions of the soldiers. Now back to our anchors.
Thanks, Henry. Now on to the next story.
Our next story tonight is about an American spy, Nathan Hale.
George Washington needed information on British movement and plans. So Nathan Hale traveled to British-occupied Long Island dressed as a Dutch schoolteacher to spy on the British. After gaining the information George Washington needed, Hale headed home and was caught by British soldiers who were patrolling the area and was ordered to be hanged the next morning. Nathan Hale was hanged at age... Oh shucks, I messed up. Nathan Hale was hanged at the age of 21 by the British for treason and... What does that say? Espionage. He was believed to have said, "I only regret that I have but one life to lose for my country," before he was hung. Prior to his death, he attended the college Yale at the age of 14. He also was the captain of the 19th Regiment of the Colonial Army and was the first lieutenant in the 7th Connecticut Regiment. His sacrifices have led to more and more being made by other patriots.
Thank you for that, Landon.
Now we take a look at a group who has had an amazing impact on the war.
Go.
Before the war had started, women were overlooked. Once the war started, the women showed their strengths and that they were more capable of accomplishing things that had great significance in the outcome of the war. Take Martha Washington, for example. She helped George Washington out in his everyday life, helping him make more important decisions that helped him run his estate. George Washington respected her and wanted her opinion on what to do in the war. This caused Martha to have great importance on the Revolutionary War. Margaret Cothen got wounded and laid next to her dying husband as she was. She did not die, instead ending up with permanent disabilities, and was known as the first American female to receive a soldier's lifetime pension after the war. When she stayed with her husband, this opened America's eyes and view on women and their direction to their husbands and the country. Molly Pitcher was bringing soldiers water on an extremely hot day and replaced her wounded husband and fired at the British in his place. These women showed what women can do and accomplish. When the war was over, women showed everyone that they were more than just a home wife and could do more than just cook and clean. They were looked at more seriously after taking their husband's place in the war. George trusted his wife with decisions, and this inspired many more to do the same.
Now on to some breaking news from our junior field reporter, Landon Teasdale.
Tragedy at Valley Forge. We come across the Valley Forge encampment leading to the Revolutionary War at this encampment. We have read that over 2,000 troops had died just because of the shortage of supplies. They were short on everything, including clothes, medicine, and food. This is the time that when the morale started to get low and overall drop a ton. After most men died, they reshaped themselves and became powerful enough to defeat the British and gain independence as a country.
Wow, Landon, that was so cool. Thanks for the update.
Now here's an exclusive interview with General George Washington.
Good morning. Today is August 28th, 1776, the day after the Battle of Long Island. We are interviewing George Washington. How are you today, Washington?
Honestly, I'm feeling a little down, but we'll get through this.
Now, who are the main people in this battle?
Well, myself and many other men, including Israel Putnam, William Adams Alexander, John Sullivan, General William Howe, Charles Cornwallis, Henry Clinton, and James Grant.
Great, thank you. Would you mind describing what happened during battle?
Sure, I could do that. Basically, the British went on against our Continental Army, and then the British took the win, causing the British campaign to isolate New England from the rest of the colony and take over New York.
Wonderful. What happened after the battle?
We were forced to retreat here to Pennsylvania after we watched our entire home and village get burned to the ground. Now the British keep their hold over New York.
Do you think this battle is significant?
Probably yes. It's a huge advantage for the British. This is the start of the campaign that would give them control over New York.
Great, thank you, Washington. Now back to our anchors.
Now that's a wrap on today's news. Thanks for watching tonight's news program.
Signing off, we're Lola and Delaney. Be sure to check back for daily updates on the war.
What this? Where did I end?
Where are we?
Oh, sorry.
Be wise, keep on singing.